And welcome back to another episode of the Convoluted podcast. It's your host Liz, and I'm with here Tyrant Dominus, aka Jesus. And if it's your first time listening, you can always follow and subscribe. If not, don't have to. We're not making you. How you doing, Jesus?
I am doing well. I'm a busy long weekend. As some of you might notice in my background, I did a little rearranging in my office. You won't be seeing the full thing until I'm completely done. I have to do a lot of cleaning, but went to see a bunch of movies, caught up with a bunch of shows. Been reading a lot, so I've been busy. I've been making.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw like blip, 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 blip. I was like, damn, Jesus, you're blowing them out.
I gotta get that content out for you guys. So yeah, if you guys want to see some stuff, I recently watched Ant-Man and the Wasp, the latest in the Marvel's films. If you guys want to hear my thoughts on that, catch Reaction Cast. Also, I went to go see Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. That one.
And how was that?
You gotta listen to find out.
I gotta watch the damn Reaction Cast. I know.
Gotta listen if you want to find out. But for sure, I'll give you a little snippet here. When I went with my sister and her fiance, and her fiance loved the movie. My sister hated the movie.
Opposite.
So yeah, but yeah, so those two are coming out. I've been just catching up with the shows. Like anyone who's out there watching The Last of Us on HBO Max, wonderful show so far. Looking forward to finishing that one. And then been reading a lot. I've been reading some really like intense stories, a little bit more on the darker side, just to get more. Because as much as you enjoy content where it's like, what is it? Feel good content.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just want to read, or take in some more what's the divisive content, I would say. Yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. What about yourself?
Well, it is my first official weekend off. Every other weekend going forward is exciting. I am happy about it. It's been a long time coming. I don't know if anybody's ever heard that I've been working mostly every Friday and every Saturday at night and evening, whatever. So I never really had a time off. And the weekends that I do work, I'm off at like 4:30, so like I can go and do something for the evening and the afternoon. So I can enjoy some time with my friends or family or whatever, and then work the weekend. But it's fine. I mean, this is great. I am enjoying this new schedule. So it's just the start of the whole trend, but I'm happy. So
wait, is this your first week with your new schedule?
Yes, I had to work 6 days to get last weekend to start into the role of it, which is fine. You got to make some sacrifices, but
all right,
it was finally worth it. It's finally worth it. Like to say, hey, I have a weekend off. I actually have some days off in the middle of the week, which is great because then I can do some appointments and errands and hang out with some friends and do this and that. So it's nice. It's kind of like a breakup from the monotony. It's great. So
there you go.
I'm looking forward to this. This is nice.
All right, there you see, everyone. We're getting into it. It's we had a rough start to our year. So we're doing well now. We're doing well, and we're getting closer to not the revamp, but getting closer to the next season. The next season. Yeah. I've been working on. I'm about to send Liz later today some of the sketch work for some of our new merch. So yeah, we've been a lot.
Like I said, in a couple of weeks we'll be seeing each other and hanging out for a little bit. So
yeah, exactly. We'll be doing a lot of fun things for
like I said,
you guys.
My middle of the week kind of be hanging out with you.
So yeah, finally, guys, more content, more stuff for you guys, and more just kind of just hanging out, because sometimes it's impossible. Before we get into some of the things, I was actually, what was it? There was a YouTube video I was watching, explaining how some people were. How do I explain this? So back when you were in elementary school, middle school, high school. During those times, you were hanging out with friends and stuff like that, right? It's because everyone had basically roughly the same schedule, right? School schedule was the same, so like quote your work. And then some people have extracurricular activities, but then that would still be sometimes you would just be there with your. And then when you become older, your schedule your time with the people you want to spend just doesn't work out because you guys aren't in the same quote school, the same building. You guys split up into other things and kind of just let. And someone was
That's a
asked
good analogy. I like this.
because they were explaining to I forget what video. I gotta watch it again, find it again. But they were like explaining to their chat basically why they haven't hung out with certain people because it's just hard to coordinate stuff, mostly when it's so hectic because everyone who's listening probably is around our age or a little younger, or a little older, but they understand that it's very finite when we get used to time. When you're like younger, time is like we can do whatever, we can waste as much time as we want. But as you become older, time is just a very, very limited resource. And
Exactly.
it's and as we've learned on some of these stories, sometimes people don't utilize the time they have properly.
Yeah,
And
no
but
kidding.
for us, like we coordinate, at least you and I coordinate as much as we can for the show. Like we take at least 2 to 3 hours a week out of our week just to just record and set aside things, and then a little bit more here and there when we're working on bigger projects.
And bullshit, of course, too. When
Yeah,
we do.
but then trying to coordinate hanging out because sometimes some people think like this is our friendship is just the podcast, but no, we talk and hang out, but it's just impossible for any real
Working human.
like, any working human who has a whatever semblance of a life is out in this day and age, right? Because there's actually, I think we should find that one story of
I did. I'm always posting so much.
the wages. There it is.
Oh yes, I saw that. I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting.
Actually, you know what? Maybe we should just jump in with that because it's a good jumping off point from what we're talking about.
All right, sounds good.
So,
did you want me to read it? Or
yeah, you read it because this is also another reason why it's hard for people to kind of stay within friend group because one, now working has become not a like, okay, I'm gonna work to do stuff. Now you're working to live, basically live.
Yes, that is true.
All right.
Minimum wages are going up, but typical workers still don't make enough to get by in any U.S. state. 23 states and Washington, D.C. raised their minimum wage in January. 4 more states have poised to do so later this year. Depending on the location, new wages range from $9.95 per hour in Montana to $16.10 per hour in D.C. While the federal minimum wage has remained as stagnant at $7.25. I don't know if you remember that. Do you remember that when it was still $7.25? I mean, that's been a long time coming. So
that is garbage.
2009. I remember that too.
I think we talked about it too.
Many states have continued to raise theirs. States began instituting their own higher minimum wages during periods of federal inaction, said Ben Zipper, an economist at the Economy Policy Institute. So the longer the gap between federal minimum wage increases, the more likely states went ahead and raised their own state-level minimum. Still, the vast majority of single people working full-time and making a local minimum wage aren't earning enough to get by. CNBC Make It compared state minimum wages with the average living wage for one adult with no dependents according to MIT's living wage calculator and found that no state offers a minimum wage that is in line with the living wage.
Okay, so yeah, we can continue. Well, I was messing around with the interactive map they have, and I like their map because we can continue talking, but it's just we already know it's garbage out there.
Yeah.
So let's just do our state of Oregon. So just hovering over Oregon. So our state of Oregon, the basic minimum wage is $13.50. But apparently the estimated living wage you're supposed to, because I think we talked about like our, what was it, the
honeypot of making wages.
So apparently, according to this, to make the living wage estimate, it's $19.38. You have to be making $19.38, which Yeah, that's not impossible, depending on how you handle your finances. And this is for what I think what you said for a single person with no dependents. I think that's what you
Yes,
said.
that's what it said.
So I think that would fall under like me, and I would say that's about right, roughly. Roughly, if you're like handling your no debt, no like no, I'll go with
Most people
little
are
to
in
no
debt, and
debt.
that's pretty put up.
Exactly. So we'll say little to no debt. That is not impossible. That is roughly what I think. So about apparently, according to this, about 55% of non-family households in Oregon falls within or below the income bracket that includes the minimum wage and minimum annual income for single people earning the living wage. These individuals account for approximately 21% of the state's total population. So there's barely half that are doing it. So because I think there's a couple places I know in this area that have been slowly raising minimum wage or not raising minimum wage, raising the cap. That's what I'll say. They've been raising the cap to how much you can make, which I think for me and the company I work for, they'll be raising the cap come April or August. It's one of the A months. I forget.
Is it going to be? I'm curious because then I'm going to throw this back at my boss's boss.
I'm not gonna say, but
I'll
say it. I'll say it out. I'll say it in the bonus episode. And
because if that's the case, I am not only rooting for myself. I'm rooting for the other technicians that are younger than me, and I'm trying to make them happy and living wage too.
Yeah.
So I am trying exclusively to make a living for everybody. I'm not vocal just for myself. I'm vocal for the human beings that I work with because they deserve just as much of a living wage than I do. And I know I make more than the newer ones, and I make less than the longer acting term ones.
Senior ones, yeah.
Senior ones.
Your juniors and seniors. Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
but
so
I'm still vocal. I'm like, come on, guys, come on.
Okay,
minimum wage just keeps going up, and what's the cap?
So let's do our kind of our siblings to the north and to the south. I want to say California first because California doesn't seem appropriate, but maybe it's per depending on what city you're living in. Because apparently, because minimum wage for California is $15.50. The estimated living wage is supposed to be $21.24. Ooh, $21.24. That is.
It's like about $2 more than Oregon's supposed to be, right? I think ours is 1938.
So yeah, just $2. We'll say $2, which I think in certain cities, there's certain cities that does not get you nothing.
Oh yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, so but yeah, it probably is. Let's see, does this thing have any other specifics? No, it's just for like singles and stuff like that. That is surprising right there. And to our north, let's see here, minimum wage. Oh wow, their minimum wage is better in Washington
by 30 cents,
which is 15. Wow, they're like $2.50 more up in Washington with $15.74, and their estimate is $19.58, so just shy under $20. Just near our state. Yeah, so we're both about in the 20. We'll say $20 range. If you're making 20, you're supposed to be okay, apparently. So, is there any state you kind of are eyeballing that you want to pick on to see what they have? Because we can go over.
I've been looking to our east a little bit, our eastern state.
All right, pick one, and we'll talk about it. Because we can spend a whole episode on this, but I think our audience is not. But
I think Idaho is an interesting one.
Idaho, where the fuck are you, Idaho? Just our. Oh wow!
I know, right?
Okay,
that's interesting.
So right next to Oregon, Idaho, their minimum wage is $7.25.
Oh, still.
And apparently their living wage estimate is $16.07. I wonder, is there any cities that are close to Oregon and Idaho, where I can work in Oregon and live in Idaho.
Got Pendleton right there, so it wouldn't be too far. I think it'd be about an hour drive, maybe to the nearest. Well, not really, not even.
Because I'll be making bank like that. You just gotta pay that.
Let's go look. I'm gonna look right now.
Oh well, you do that. Let's. Okay, what's the?
Oregon.
I'm trying to scroll around, see what any of the biggest numbers. But yeah, if anyone wants us to do kind of their states, write it down in the comments below, and we'll kind of peek at some of them. It looks like for sure California is one of the big ones that is you need to make some good bank.
Let's see. Oh,
Massachusetts apparently as well. You got to make like 2135.
Okay. Well, Pendleton's a little bit of a trek, but there's Enterprise, Oregon, or Joseph, or Inmana, and you can live in Whitebird, Lucille, Riggins, Pollock.
Okay, so I was kind of doing also basic math. So in Pennsylvania, minimum wage is $7.25.
Yeah.
And living wage estimate is over double that, $16.41.
Damn.
So you have to be. So basically, you have to be working more than two minimum wage jobs to live in Pennsylvania.
These individuals account for 17% of the state's total population. So only 17% of these people are actually making it. I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't be complaining since we're in Oregon, but damn.
It's rough everywhere for sure.
It is.
Not just us. It's happening around. I think we also had a story about the UK and stuff. It's just rough. It's just where we keep talking about this, and it I don't think it's going to be changing anytime soon.
Georgia! Look at Georgia, man.
Georgia, South Carolina, Georgia. Oh my God! Okay, you want to read that one? Okay.
Basic minimum wage in Georgia is $5.15. That is not even the federal minimum wage of $7.25. That's already $2 under. Living wage is $17.72, y'all.
Triple. So
holy crap!
You got to be working 3 full-time minimum wage jobs to live out. And you can't even do that. That's not enough hours. That's not enough hours in the day.
No. We thought we had it bad. Damn. I thought $7.25, but they're only making $5.15 an hour. Oh my God. Basic minimum wage. Ooh. No wonder there's so many people leaving Georgia.
So yeah, it's getting wild out there, and it is giving a low wage work. It's crazy. I don't know what to really say. It's baffling how we're in this moment where, like, everyone's. What's interesting is people still want to move to America for this stuff, and it's like, and I can only imagine how bad it is in other places. But when you look at it as an individual, you can kind of see it. But when you're seeing it as a spectrum like this big, and we have a map with a rough calculator, we're just kind of using whatever this is giving us, right? So
MIT, yeah.
So we got to take its word for as best we can, right? But it's when you see it like that, like, it's bad. It's pretty bad. So as much as we're complaining, we'll still complain. We'll still complain.
Are you out of your mind?
So
I feel sorry for a lot of these people.
So yeah,
I was complaining.
So let us know your guys' thoughts if you're posting this on YouTube. Leave a comment and just tell us what state you're in and tell us some of your gripes. We want to know. So yeah, that's kind of. You have any other words for this one? Or you're good.
You need to step up your freaking game, man. You're not even at the basic federal minimum wage. Damn.
All right. You had a specific story you wanted to jump into.
Yes. This is funny, y'all. We talk about stupid people. This is basically really, this is freaking funny. When you hear the article, guys, you'll laugh. You guys, got me. Arkansas man caught with 53 pounds of marijuana in pickup.
Ooh, that's pretty big.
Jonesboro, Arkansas. An Arkansas man is accused of possessing more than 50 pounds of marijuana and a weapon when he was pulled over by police last week. Brentley Dwayne Gibson, 27 of Jonesboro, was arrested February 9th and charged with simultaneously possession of drugs and firearms, possession of marijuana with the purpose to deliver, felony possession of a drug paraphernalia, and offenses related to the record and maintaining premises, the Sun newspaper of Jonesboro reported. According to the new release from the Jonesboro Police Department posted on Facebook, K9 officer Corey Obregon, it's like Oregon with a B, Obregon, asked Gibson to exit his truck to follow the K9 fault to search for the possible drugs. Police said Gibson became nervous when the dog alerted the officer about the drugs near the back of the pickup and allegedly told them, "You guys got me."
I like that they named a dog here. So like,
I do too.
I don't know why. That's the most important part of this article is that they named the dog here. But yeah, you guys got me. You guys got me. Anything more specific?
I don't think they named the K9. I think it's the
right
K9.
There. No, his name was Volt. Right there. Volt.
Oh yeah, K9 Volt. Yeah.
Yeah,
I read it and I still went over it.
That's why I was like wondering, like, so yeah, that's wild. It's
as most everybody knows, marijuana is illegal here on the West Coast, pretty much.
Is it? I forget in Oregon. Is there still like a limit on how much you can have?
Yeah, there's still a limit of how much. I can't remember exactly how much. I don't remember either. I think it's under 2 grams. You can carry it under 2 grams under you. I
forget because I personally don't purchase it very often. I think I get it once every 3 months, 3-4 months. I get it very rarely, but I rarely use it, and then I use it sporadically. So. Like my one shopping trip will last me 3 to 4 months unless my brother steals it. Then,
which I feel like that happens a lot.
Not that often. I'm willing to share. It's not like I'm not stingy because I'd rather have it be done with faster. Because for me, I'm not a big smoker. I eat the gummies and candies, edibles. There you go. So yeah, and I don't know if they expire, so someone should have some. So I share. But yeah, I like how at this point you kind of like you got me.
I know, just like crazy hands, like that's it.
You got me, officer. Yeah, you got me.
There's nothing I can do about this. I was reading on that about how much marijuana he had in his gun, but he also had 21 alprazolam pills on him, tablets. And it's funny because when I see alprazolam and Xanax, I've seen prescriptions for a lot larger quantity. So like, I don't know, this doesn't faze me.
I like how they still mention vape pens and stuff like that. And
well, this is Arkansas, y'all. So
to all our Arkansas listeners, is this a daily thing? All right, good job, Volt. I like you. You did a good job. Yeah. Good job, Volt.
Yeah.
But yeah, just looking at
they actually executed a search warrant and they found more shit.
Oh, there's a Facebook post. Let's see. Facebook post. Oh, there it is.
He still released himself on post bond for $20,000.
Fine, if you have that much.
68 marijuana pre-rolled blunts. God, he's got it all.
All right, good job to all those people. At this point, if you're willing to I fucked up. Okay, you caught me, and you don't resist or anything. That's pretty good. You take it as I got caught. But
and he owned it. He's like, you just got me, man. You got me.
But you know how you don't get caught? You start running a church.
Like you?
You know what? I always thought about doing it. It'll be fun.
I know you did.
Okay, but some people did because some ex-Mormons are running a magic mushroom church. So let's see
Oh,
here.
Lord.
So out in Salt Lake City, as he set up for Sunday services in dank basement lined with velvet seating and glow-in-the-dark blue tables, Steve Earthquart, I think that's what. Founder of the Divine Assembly. That's a name. That is a name.
Yes, it is.
Try not to think about the swingers party that took place in the space that previous night.
Bruh.
Founding rolling adult stuff rolling around still.
There you go. You gotta sin before you go pray for it. They had a lot of fun. I think it was Rowdy Crowd. I'm gonna just call him Steven because I can't say his last name. 57. A former Republic State Senator and ex-Mormon? What?
Damn.
Oh shit. Alright. Told Vice News. Why does this article says former senator? Brah. That's cool though.
You have the bra sound.
Oh, I do.
Dink it.
Bruh.
Okay. Let's see here. Told Vice News with a mischievous smile, looking at a bit of a lumberjack with his white beard and red flannel shirt. Let's see here. On Saturday nights, the New York club has lifestyle parties. Yeah, lifestyle parties. By Sunday morning, a few upside down pineapples, a bat signal for swingers. That's not bad. Sticky floors, and one suspiciously damp spot on the couch. And tasteful nudes on the walls remained on the Divine Assembly took over the venue. Stephen and his wife Sarah founded the church 3 years ago, and while the idea of congregating in a club where people likely have sex may sound counterintuitive, this group is used to bucking norms. Their sacrament, which they use to commune directly with the divine. I need a divine noise.
My name is Jeff.
I'm still laughing through this article, dude. This is hilarious. I wish I had found this article.
Which can mean God, the universe, or even family members, depending on the person, is psychedelic mushrooms. Instead of drinking the blood of Christ, you eat of the.
You take the bread of Christ. It's the body of Christ. You know
No.
that.
You take how do you take a piece of the lamb into you. We have one tenet, which is you and each individual can commune with the divine, and out of that direct communion, you can receive guidance. Stephen explained, you don't need any kind of intermediary. You don't need me. You don't need anyone. All you need is a piece of the land, apparently. But no one gets high at church. Wait, what? No one gets high at okay. I wanna. All right. Okay, where are you? You had me, then you lost me.
Bruh.
Okay,
Oh my god, I love the last name part. Look, read our last little part. Oh my god.
No one gets high at church. Instead, congregates participate in a range of workshops and activities that include an ice bath, meditation room with flashing lights, and a shroom growing course called Shroomiversity.
Are you out of your mind?
I can't stop laughing. Oh my god. Shroomiversity. I was just going to use that. Shroomiversity. We're just going to Shroomiversity.
The Divine Assembly is one of the growing number of churches in the United States with followers worship using psychedelics like shrooms. What is that one?
I have no idea.
Ayahuasca. There it is. Ayahuasca, peyote, and buffo. What the fuck's... Oh, the psychedelic toad. Oh, okay. So they have the kind of the generic ones that people talk about. Okay. Vice News has identified at least 19 psychedelic churches. Oh wow, there's a lot. There's a lot. They'll more likely exist underground and will continue to pop up as these drugs become more mainstream and legal in some cities and states. The churches operate in very different ways. Some have formal spaces while others rent out venues or offer monthly retreats. Some charge membership fees and other members with drugs. Wait, what? provide members with drugs, and others, like the Defiant Assembly, don't. All the churches believe they're protected under the freedom of religion, although a few legal exceptions to use drugs, leaving church leaders and members responsible for defending themselves should they be arrested. Okay, that's kind of...
Yeah, that's pretty much
fine. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. So, with little by little, things have been becoming more legalized or a little bit more accepted in society. And like this article said, yeah, there probably are some, like, I'm not gonna say cults, but cults basically have had some spicy stuff happen. And drugs are like one of the mainstays sometimes. And like for sure there's been some underground stuff. And I think just seeing that this is more mainstream and stuff, it's interesting. I'm surprised. Oh, probably there's one in Oregon too.
Oh, I wouldn't. Yeah, with our new, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I just like the idea that it's a ex-Mormon former senator that are doing it with his wife. That's how you do it. You do it together, so you guys can. Yeah, it's. Let me just read that statement one more time. Where is it? The funny one.
The Shroomiversity.
Yeah, let's see here. Where are you?
But that's too hilarious.
Yeah, but no one gets high at the church. Instead, converts participate in a range of workshops activity that include an ice bath, a meditation room with flashing lights, and shroom growing courses called Shroomiversity.
We just need a Shroomiversity shirt. Just say that right across.
True, but we might gotta be so sick as a shirt, but I don't know if we can get away with it. Unless we make a new church. We can provide.
We keep adding to our expanding businesses, don't we?
Yeah, we have a what is it? We have a jail. We have a jail.
Bruh.
And then we have Oregon. We have an Oregon. What was it? Oregon. What is it? Oregon harvesting. Oh, yeah, we're just.
Yep. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of it.
Now we have
our nice little bus that helps out our fellow white second class citizens.
So yeah, it's
all range.
So many. So yeah, more power to them. As long as is the thing I always say. As long as it's not hurting anyone, that's cool. More power to them, because whatever you want to use to get closer to the quote divine, do it.
Exactly.
So if that's like indulging in some spicy upside down pineapple, or just doing some ice bath, there you go.
This sounds awfully familiar. Where have I heard this one? Oh, I'll tell you afterwards.
All right then, Liz, you can read the next one.
Oh yes, that's right. I forgot which one we were doing. It jumped to me. It bounced to me.
Bounce.
I have big boobs. Trolls can call me a circus freak, but I'm making the world a better place. They can't say the same.
I like how trolls are like. Okay, I'll let you read the article because I read a little bit of it, so I'm like, this seems really baffling sometimes. Mostly,
I know, right?
Yeah. This doesn't make sense. But continue.
A big trusted woman whose platform promotes body positivity has to cope with the darker side of social media, don't we all? One particular cruel comment has brought back a painful childhood memory for the TikTok user.
Oh, TikTok, the next level. There was an article I wanted to read. I don't know, maybe we should do it after them because it kind of transitions. It's the last.
Okay.
But yeah, continue.
But Jolene Mendez, who goes by Jo Mama, is determined not to be diminished by the jibe. Her post is strong rebuff, indivisible keyboard warrior. If someone knows her worth and will not be shut down. Standing in the sunlight room, Jolene wore a vivid blue top as she shared the comment that shocked her. The anonymous user said used to go to the circus to see freaks. As she stared directly into the lens, she appeared almost speechless. Every now and then I get a comment that triggers me, and this one is one of them. And it hurts. Big difference growing up. I felt like the circus freak, she said. She still experienced a horrible feeling that said, fuck. Sometimes today I still feel it. The TikTok queen called them out for hiding and not being brave enough to show himself. They sulk, they hide, they attack because it makes them feel better about themselves. She's really pretty.
Yeah, I'm
Jolene?
scrolling. Yeah, I'm scrolling down a little bit. I'm wondering, like, what the fuck are people like? Okay, so here's the thing. So for anyone who doesn't know or doesn't, because TikTok, it's been around now for a hot minute, but some people still aren't like getting into it. Which it's like I was one of them. Liz was one of them. But you kind of.
I have one. That's it, y'all. I have only one.
No, but you got into the platform. You find you're a TikToker. No, you're not a TikToker, but you're a TikToker enjoyer.
Yes, I am.
But it took you a while, right? You were very divisive on getting it. More so, I think we've all talked about how much some people spend time on any social media, right? It's not very healthy, and we'll jump into that. There's an article. We'll jump into that, talking about that. But whether you're a creator or a person who just absorbs it, right? As far as TikTok is concerned, if you don't have an account, when you post a comment, it just is like anonymous, number 432,600 or something, right? And that's the other thing. It's like once you're online, you have anonymity, right? People can say whatever the fuck they want. I think we actually during one of our live streams we had a person like very very like divisive in our chat early on.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you have to deal with. But some people can take it, some people cannot. And
I just rolled my eyes at them. I'm like, wow, okay.
And then there are moments where like you can like that's nothing. They're just some stupid individual. But sometimes it'll hit and it'll like hurt a nerve. It'll trigger someone, right? Mom. And this is where this individual just kind of like it like hit them. And it sucks because yeah, she's a very lovely lady. And to be so not humiliated, to be so what's
verbally
objectified?
attacked?
Yeah, verbally. Objectified? I don't know the word. Not right. I think that's right. No, objectified. There a better word? Made fun of, basically. We'll do that. That's the best way. Made fun of. And most, yeah. Just because of something you can't control.
I don't understand. She is a very beautiful woman. Like, either that person has a slow self-esteem and wanted to take it out on somebody else. That makes no sense. I mean, I was a big chested woman myself, and I just like boobs are amazing. I don't know much about you guys are talking about, but she's a gorgeous woman. I can say it. Oh, she's beautiful. I don't know why people would jump on that. I mean, she's just a little slightly bigger, but she's got a great rack. I'm not gonna lie.
So yeah, it's just like I said, people will. This is the internet, so anyone will say anything
just to get their 2 cents into the world and piss somebody off and make them unhappy just because they're unhappy themselves.
Exactly. And let's kind of then transition to the next one. Then my phone for this fucking New York Times. So, do you see which one? It's the last article I posted.
Yeah.
You see it? Okay.
Scroll. Yes. Wait, that one? The Twitter one?
Yeah, the Twitter one. There's an article in there.
Okay.
So just read read the thing that the Twitter post has, and then.
Darn it. Okay. Oops. Damn it. Breaking news: girls and lesbian gay or bisexual adolescents report starkly higher levels of sadness and suicide thoughts in 2021, the CB said. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Teen girls report record levels of sadness. Sad. I'm having a hard time opening the article, but it
too.
is New York Times. Gotta charge everybody.
I mean,
But I agree. I mean, especially if you're targeting the LGBTQIA, I mean, we're all, I feel like everybody's, and that's hard. And we're seeing higher suicide rates and attempted suicide rates. I mean, it doesn't stop, but it just, I don't understand.
I think
so
a few of the things is like, I was kind of scrolling through some of these things. So the last few years, the pandemic didn't help at all. One, it isolated a lot of people. And some people just lost the ability to socialize, and that's kind of something integral to just kind of like society. You need to be able to interact with individuals. That's kind of what schooling is. It's a ability to, like we were talking about earlier, it's the ability to interact with individuals, so you'll be able to interact in a adult level. Some people never learn that, but that kind of helps that. So that's already a big negative, because a lot of people lost 2-3 years of that ability because of the pandemic, to have those interactions and have some of those developments.
Exactly. Like some people, connections,
and some people are able to like go beyond that, but some people then will like shelter themselves from that, and that also leads to just overall how we were talking about social media. Since you can't be in person, a lot of people took to social medias and stuff like that. That's why like streaming and Twitch on YouTube became very big, because people just became their own thing. People were doing OnlyFans and other social media platforms. Just people were doing so many different things, but then there's also a lot of other different voices, positive and negative. Definitely. And some people just take it hard. Like some people, like you said earlier, those moments hit harder than others, and it can take a toll on individuals. Because sometimes when you're feeling down, some people continue into the rabbit hole that is social media, into these pitfalls that just like adds on to the level of sadness and depression and stuff like that.
Anxiety and stuff
exactly
like that. Exactly. Expectations from society too. I think that's it's so prevalent still to this day.
And it just continues to add and add, and it's just crazy. I don't foresee any of this changing for a couple of years. It's just kind of the world we currently live in. Do you have any real final thoughts? Because I really don't have anything really like truly to say about this, because it's just another level of just online consumption and rabbit holes.
Haters will hate. That's all you gotta say. Haters will hate. It doesn't matter. They don't care. They're already in their hole of despair, and they want to pull everybody else and drag down. What sucks, because some people are already on that verge and that cusp. I mean, it's depression. I mean, I think a lot of majority of Americans have suffered a lot of depression this last 2 years with the pandemic, being locked down and not able to socialize normally like we used to. I mean, I still feel like it still hinders a lot of our, interactions day to day. I mean, but again, our lifestyle, our working careers, and our social lives have taken a huge hit. In general, I feel like, as someone who's been down that road, it's hard, and we really need to step up our game. People will not bring people down. We're supposed to upheaval people. Yeah, so what? They're making, money maybe, or just doing this content for the pure joy of it. I mean, I see no wrong. But honestly, people need to, even though you can say people need to back off and just let people create what they want to create. Everybody's got an opinion, right? And they feel like it's the right to vocalize opinion. But I guess we need to, us people who are, who are in that hole, and that, like anything can trigger a PTSD moment. We need to step up our game and be stronger as a tenfold, because she has a huge following. And we need to keep each other up. And people have to understand these people are just down in their own holes, and they want to drag everybody down with them. Don't let them. Don't let them.
There you go.
Power on, people. Power on. I'll be your shoulder if you need it, and I'll be your armor if you need it too. So
there you go.
Definitely.
All right then. We're gonna be jumping into a big story that's barely had any news, and it's not the one.
I find it so weird,
and it's not
like
what
it should be.
And it's not one people have been talking because of, and it's not even the one you guys think we're gonna be talking about. So we're gonna be talking about in a second. Because we're gonna be let you guys know. Don't forget to pick up some of our merch at merch.tyrant.com. Because we'll be changing that soon to get all the current ones before you lose your chance for it. Like I said, it's always you can always support us that way. And if you can't do that, share this show. Share the on social media or word of mouth. That's the best way to do it, and it helps us a lot. So everyone might be thinking that we're going to be talking about all the UFOs that have been popping up recently, but I'm sick of hearing about that. I'm sick.
I'm so sick of it too.
We're going to be talking about not only the East Palestine train derailment, but just apparently there's been multiple derailments in the last couple of weeks.
Actually, I've heard that.
So
I was surprised, and then you said that like it hasn't been really covered. I was like, "What?"
So yeah,
I feel like it has and has not.
No, so think about it this way. In the last, what has been the most talked about topics in the last week and a half that we've done? It's been the UFO things, the whole debacle, right? I think that overshadowed this.
Oh, don't forget the Turkey one, and with all the that's been terrible.
Oh yeah, as well, and and it's not that we're not going to talk about the Turkey thing. It's just we'd like to at least take some level of jokiness. I know the derailment's really bad, but we can kind of joke about it a little. But the whole Turkey situation, we like sadly all we can really do is thoughts and prayers, because that's been horrific. I can tell you stories that I've been seeing, but it would be too depressing to bring up on the show. But yeah, hearts and prayers to everyone there. But yeah, talking about the
top to the two dogs have been helping out finding those people. Of course, I know one of them did not make one of it. So yeah, my praises out to that dog in heaven.
So talking about the derailment, this is one of the few things that haven't really been talked about. So what do you know about what happened?
I heard the couple of the trains have derailed. I don't know how they derailed, but I know some of the chemicals are in there, and they actually been seeping into the ground soil and into the water. And actually, a lot of people have been saying either it's sizzling with my milk when I pour into my coffee. It's never done that before. I've heard all sorts of things. It's crazy. I was just like, I was surprised we aren't talking about it, and the fact that it's in our waters and our airways, and a lot of the people are getting sick from it. I thought people were being evacuated, or not being evacuated, because the government said it's fine.
So let's kind of jump into this a little bit. First News was recently informed that 3 more chemicals at the earliest.
No, I thought the other one was
here. That's just a car crash that had toxin. There's a lot of toxins everywhere. Well,
no, right?
I'm trying to find the earliest article, and then we can go from there.
This is February 12th. I thought the other one was earlier. This one was... Oh, this is February 13th. There's so many of them.
There's a lot. Okay, anyway, so basically what happened was, like anyone who knows, like there's like large trains that carry supplies and stuff like that. And those really long. What ended happening was Due to some poor maintenance, it basically derailed, spilling over. And what was going to happen was, since it was like very crucial chemicals, I think they even noted which chemicals, they were going to do a control burn because that was the only way to do it. Turns out that those chemicals, the way they interacted, was actually like really bad for the environment, because it was not only, like you mentioned, seeping into the ground, but into the air. And some people were evacuating, but the thing is, it's a whole city. It's like having a mini Chernobyl basically happening in your area. What do you do in that situation? Like where do you go? Like, if it's we'll just say, let's be conservative, a 25-mile radius from the incident. That's a lot of square footage. And we'll say 25-mile radius is just the initial like bad area. Then you double, I believe you double that, right, to 50 for any like possible contaminants. That's still 50-mile radius of potential harm. That's a lot of people in East Palestine.
A lot of relocation of people that just don't have the resources that we were talking about, and don't make enough to do that. So
actually, let me pull up the map. Ohio. We didn't look up Ohio.
We did not.
So here, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts as I'm looking this?
I'm gonna go with they make 9 something an hour for minimum wage.
No, like, what are your thoughts on the situation?
What do you mean, like to relocate?
Just overall, just the thought of the derailment, the control.
It sucks. I mean, that's terrible, because that's, our water, our food, our air is like polluted, and we already have resources that are diminished because of everything else that's going on in the world. And we don't have, like, the eggs. Come on, get real about this. I mean, I just think it's crazy because nobody has the resources to do this. I mean, now that we're adding more to the shit, we're all gonna die early. There's a lot of people saying this is the end of the world. It's coming.
Okay, here we go. I found the article. 5 of the tankers of the train that overturned last week were carrying liquid vinyl chloride, which is extremely combustible. Last Sunday, they became unstable and threatened to explode. First responders and emergency workers had to vent the tankers, spill the vinyl chloride into a trench into the ground, and then burn it off before it turned the train into a bomb. Authorities feared that the explosion could send shrapnel up to a mile away, but that didn't happen. The control burn worked. The evacuation order for the East Palestine residents were officially lifted Wednesday after real-time air and water monitoring did not find any contaminant levels above screening limits. Well, that's a lie, because there was so much. People could smell some funkiness in the air when they were burning.
Some of the people were saying, like I said, somebody was pouring milk into their coffee and the water started sizzling. Sizzling with the milk.
Because the thing is, like, it's not going to happen immediately, because sometimes that stuff takes days, weeks, even months to kind of, mostly with such volatile chemicals. Like, I personally don't know what is it? What is vinyl? Let's look it up really quick, just so we know what it is. Just, look at Google's out there for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Vinyl. Okay, Wikipedia. What do you say vinyl chloride? It's a colorless compound. Is an important industrial chemical chiefly used to produce polymers. Vinyl chloride. What is it used for? Production. Didn't tell me. It's just used for production.
What? Used for production.
Just production. I don't want to look any deeper. But yeah, overall,
I might.
But yeah, and going back to Ohio. So Ohio, where did I literally had it. Where? Missouri. I had Ohio. So the minimum wage for Ohio is $10.10, and the estimated minimum wage, the living wage estimate is $15.33. Not too bad, but it's just still it's about 18% of the state's total population, and about 47% of non-family households in Ohio fall within or below the income bracket that includes the minimum annual income for a single people earning the. So basically, under 50% barely make it. So yeah, it just that small portion of a portion are barely doing it. To be evacuated from a city because you don't know what's happening, to the derailment. Did you see the photo of the derailment?
Yeah, I did.
It's like a lot. And I recently saw a video of.
Oh, okay. Now I saw what it is. Vinyl chloride is used primarily to make polyvinyl chloride, PVC, a hard plastic resin used to make a variety of plastic products, including pipes, wire, and cable coatings, and packing materials. PVC. And is not known or suspected carcinogen, which is if anybody knows what a carcinogen is basically what makes cancer. Oh, vinyl chloride is also produced as a combustion product in tobacco smoke.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Well, yeah, it just. The thing is that the other thing is like people aren't really talking about this too. There's just so much happening in the world, and like some of the things I saw were in TikToks from people.
I know, that's how I saw it too.
And like, why does TikTok have to be my news source? Quote, not a news source, but my resource to get information from the people.
Basically, it is from the people who are experiencing and living it right now. That's the truth. I mean, I think it's crazy. That's how I learned about it. I saw on blitzes, on news articles, but I didn't realize it wasn't really talked about. I didn't realize it was overshadowed by all the other stuff that's going on around the world. I'm surprised. I really am.
So, thoughts and prayers as well to the people in the area of East Palestine and a bunch of anywhere else where just some of these people, man, the railroad industry is pretty crazy. There's more to.
I'm surprised they're not maintaining those roads.
Oh, there's a lot.
I see ours.
There's a lot.
I'm just really surprised. I'm really shocked about that because that's an important job that they're supposed to be doing every day.
Bruh.
There's a whole deeper story when it comes to the railroad industry that we can get into, but that's a little bit more research. For sure. Any other thoughts for this one before we jump into our finale?
No, I just my thoughts and prayers, and hopefully it gets resolved easier. But I hope at the same time we're having more focus on our train systems and actually maintaining those railroads. And what the hell? It's just so crazy. So crazy.
All right, then. All right, guys. We're going to be finishing off with our final segment. But like we mentioned earlier, don't forget to pick up our merch at merch.tyrant.dominus.com. And don't forget to share the show on any social media or word of mouth. Like that, it helps us a lot to get this show out there. All right, so we're going to get into the dice roll. So I rolled a 5. So 1, 2. Copy.
Paste it, bitch. Pasties, paste it. Alright. Are you reading this one or am I?
You can read it because I talked about the whole thing of it.
Alright. Am I the asshole for letting my father cause a huge scene at my engagement party and embarrassing my future mother-in-law? Oh.
Whoa.
We got a spicy one today. My father has many faults. That's good. She acknowledged them. I'm well aware of these, and these therefore tend to keep our interactions private. I still love him, and I have developed a system to keep him from fucking me over.
Wait, what?
Damn.
Wait, she's marrying. Wait, my father? Oh, okay, my father. Okay, I thought she was talking about her future husband. Like, what?
No.
Okay,
That's
okay.
talking about our own dad.
Okay, that's fine. It's not perfect. No one's perfect, but
No one's perfect.
But
Yeah,
okay.
I agree. When my fiance asked me to marry him, I said yes. And then I went and privately told my dad about it. He had a nice dinner with my fiance, and that was that. My future mother-in-law wanted to have an engagement party. I was fine with it. I just requested that she not invite my father, explained that we had a strained relationship and I preferred to keep him at a distance. She agreed. I guess she thought she knew better than me. She wanted to fix our relationship, and the first step was inviting him to our home for a party with alcohol.
Oh my god.
Dun,
Wait.
I can feel that. Don't you feel like that's a type of moment?
Oh, okay.
When I met my dad for dinner, I successfully chose a restaurant that didn't have a liquor license, and we went right away after work. And his car was a breathalyzer built in to make it start. I don't know that would happen otherwise. When I saw my dad there, my stomach flipped. I asked her what was going on, and she said that a good daughter would want her dad there on this important day. I asked her to please make him leave. She said I was being rude. I went over to my dad and asked him to leave. He promised to behave, and he was so happy to be invited.
Okay.
I told my fiance. Okay, good.
Okay. I'm following. So far, so good.
So yeah, I feel like it's just escalating though. I feel like it's Dad might be saying, "Oh yeah, I'll be on my best behavior," and then.
Okay, continue. Actually, here's my quick thing before we do. Would you consider an engagement party to be very important, or is the actual wedding to be important? Like this is
the actual wedding to be more important. The engagement party, not so much. I mean, oh cool, yay,
Yeah, I'm like, okay, continue.
Announcement usually just covers that basis, but hey, what do I know?
Continue.
I told my fiance that I might need to leave in a hurry, and he had to come with me when I left. He knows the whole story. He agreed. My father was fine at the beginning. Then when wine came around, I glared at him and shook my head no. He took some. Then more. And more. Oh boy. This is getting bigger. He started getting happy, quote unquote. That doesn't last. After dinner, there were drinks. As soon as I heard him raise his voice, I asked my fiance to leave. I faked a stomach problem, and we left. The least embarrassing thing he did was piss himself and puke on the lawn. My future mother is furious. She said she would have told her the father was a drinking problem. I said that I wouldn't have a problem if she hadn't lied to my face about not inviting him. My father is humiliated that he did this. I'm just numb. My uncle has no problem controlling my dad. He's a cop, and he has come to several events with my dad where he kept him from drinking. My older brother's wedding, for example. But he lives in another city. We would have been at the wedding. I'm just angry that she lied, and I'm embarrassed, and I'm venting here because I need someone to tell me that I'm not the asshole for not wanting to tell people my father is like this.
Okay, there's a lot to the story. There's a lot little pieces. Like, okay.
You did a really great momentum of bringing the story to this.
Yeah. Do you have any? Do you have any initial thoughts? Because there's a lot I have to ponder.
I honestly, okay, I understand. It's an embarrassing thing. Like, my dad's a drunk, and he's embarrassing when it gets to that point. I understand. I get it from her point. Like, but she doesn't need to tell everybody. Like, that's her own personal, private business. And her mother-in-law should have just left it as is. You don't tell somebody you're about to marry into the family, like, hey, my dad's got a drinking problem.
I think the problem is the mother-in-law. I think, as much as she was trying to be helpful, sometimes she just there's sometimes if you're you just don't just listen to what someone has to say. He'll be at the wedding. It's not like she said, I'm not inviting him to the wedding, right?
She didn't say that. She just said this party has to be specifically without my dad, just because.
And I wish, I maybe, I like the current husband or future husband, whatever, mentioned or didn't divulge the information about the dad to his mom.
That's good. That the relationship is strong, and that I will give him props for standing up, saying, "Oh yeah, we can see this happening. We're just gonna." I love that he stood up for his wife, and he's like, "I'll go along with this because
he knows what's happening, and it seems like they don't have a bad relationship either because they had a nice dinner. Right? They have a reasonable, and it looks like. Wait, did I read that right? My father is humiliated. So what did he do? Did he piss himself?
Piss himself and puked on the lawn.
So yeah, so some people for sure. Some people say, hey, why didn't he not drink? But the thing is, some people just don't have. Some people have control issue. You know, so, yeah, no control, and they just continue to the point. And it looks like she had her brother's wedding as well, and everything was fine because you have someone there to help, not de-escalate, because nothing escalated, to not enable or disable. I don't know to control the situation where like, hey, do not touch that.
De-escalating the situation. Basically, she de-escalated the situation.
No, like what I'm talking about is the uncle situation. There's like someone to be able to basically babysit.
Yeah, which sucks. It's sad that somebody needs to. I think that brother needs to babysit you.
I've done it before. Trust me.
I know you have. We all have.
The thing is now when it's the actual wedding, the father has to be in the same vicinity as the future mother-in-law.
Yeah. So it's mother-in-law is gonna be like, oh great, I'm marrying into this family. Like.
Okay, let's see. What I want to see some of the comments. Let's see from Spiritual Frosty 60. Not the asshole. The why of your estrangement from your father and reluctant to have him at your engagement party is a future mother-in-law business. She thought she was being clever. In short, she fucked around and found out. Now your engagement,
literally.
Now your engagement party enters the realm of family legend, and not in a good way. Yep, it's gonna be a story like, not a good one. That's
yeah, it's not a good one. Exactly, I agree with you on this one.
What is this? There's like a huge. Oh, some of these people. There are some long statements with people kind of giving their experience with some of their family members, and for sure, it's not a one-time issue. We've all had
these people in our family that they're alcoholics, and we try to keep them under control and taper them, and then it just blows out of proportion. And even though we can try and not invite them to certain things, or certain things you just can't avoid, like a wedding, obviously. But I mean, like, if you can avoid like the stupid engagement party.
Yeah. So, not for what's the original statement? Am I the asshole for letting my father cause a huge scene at my engagement party? No, because you didn't let him. Because it was your future mother-in-law who invited him without letting you know. Because if she would have let you know, they could have chose a different venue that had no alcohol, and it still could have been
like the last one.
It could have been, that's the thing. It's like it's a lot of things. A lot of this could have been avoided, but some people just nitpick some shit. I think that's kind of really it. We've said what we want to say. Not the asshole. We hope the best for this wedding, and hopefully it does not become the thing of legends in the family. But for sure, it sadly is, because we have stories in our friend groups of situations that continue to live on for years to come.
Yeah, so we still talk about them. Hey, do you remember so and so?
So, everyone, any final thoughts, or you're good?
No, just be good to you guys. So, don't let them haters hate. Just let them be. Just let them be. Just move on. And if they start to bother you, come talk to me.
There you go, everyone.
You can come lay in my chest.
Everyone, thanks again for listening or watching. Until next time, see ya.
Bye.